Crypto products are unregulated and could be highly volatile. Please be aware of the risks before investing.
राज, बाबूजी के आशीर्वाद से हमने अपनी नई शुरुआत तो कर ली, पर अपना फ्यूचर प्लान कैसे करें?
बड़े बड़े शहरों में ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं।
Looking for perfect start? Get a Bitcoin today. Download the UnoCoin app.
जब मैं तेरी उम्र का था ना, तो एक सक्सेसफुल करियर, लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग सब रेडी करके रख चुका था। और एक इन महाराज को देखो, पूरा दिन फोन में लगा रहेगा।
दैट प्लानिंग तो मैंने भी कर रखी है, UnoCoin के साथ।
नए जमाने के साथ नई चीजें आजमाएं। Looking for Bitcoin? Download the UnoCoin app.
Guys, we really need to work hard. This wasn't a good quarter. Tell me, are you happy with this?
UnoCoin.
Want to earn Bitcoin? Just grab your phone and shake it. Download the UnoCoin app.
Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin.
Get a systematic buying plan from the UnoCoin app to get your Bitcoin today. Download the UnoCoin app.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Once again, welcome back to another episode of UnoCoin's live session. And today we're going to talk about the sudden drop in Bitcoin's price that started happening this Monday. And for that discussion, we have over here Mr. Sathvik Vishwanath, the CEO and the co-founder of UnoCoin, your favorite crypto exchange, and someone who you can rely on for this information, who will be able to explain you what happened, how it happened, and all the information related to it. Hi, Satvik, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Shambhu. How are you doing?
I'm not great, to be honest. Looking at the Bitcoin's price right now and the way it suddenly started dropping on 5th of August, which is Monday, recent Monday, and just to give it a quick start, Satvik, what do you think was the reason behind such a crash?
I think there are multiple reasons. The first thing we have to understand is people continue to see crypto as an investment opportunity. So whenever lot of other investment vehicles, like could be equity, mutual funds, commodity, etc., have some kind of crash where the prices drops, we actually do see similar issues happening for crypto as well. So on one side, we do argue that others for other commodities and equities, it's more like inflation and such, but crypto is comparatively immune to that. But however, in the short term, if the other investment vehicles are having some kind of a price drop, we do see the same in crypto. But over a period of time, how that gets corrected, that will very depend upon multiple situations. At least definitely there is some kind of knee jerk reaction uh, where people actually start seeing the drop in crypto as well. I think this is like one thing. So, but apart from that, there are quite a few. So, one big change that has happened is when Japan increased the rate, what we call here in India to be repo rate and such.
Yes.
So, when that got increased by 0.25%, which has actually not happened in about 30 years.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So, and from what it increased, it also matters. Here, we usually say, okay, it was 5%, 5.25, it became something like that, right? So, but in Japan, this increase happened from 0 to 0.25. Okay, so which means there was when you could borrow money from Japan at the whatever like bonds or whatever equivalents they have, you could borrow money at 0% interest rate. Okay,
Okay.
and then they could use that for doing various investments, and then people used to earn some money because of their investments, whatever they are trying to do. And then anyway, the interest is not there, so you just pay it back whenever you don't need to be stressed on this particular interest rate. I mean, interest like how you pay in India, which could be as much as about 8%, 9%, whatever we pay for either the financial institution like bank or wherever we are taking that particular money from. So this is a kind of yeah. So but these kinds of trades for quite a bit was happening before, and that entire thing kind of the calculations started going wrong the moment the interest rate got introduced by the central bank of Japan. Okay, and there are other really good traders like one is Jump Crypto, so where they actually started selling. I don't know if Japan and Jump are in any way related, but they started selling a lot of ether and a few other crypto, etc. So that kind of made it look like okay, it's kind of selling pressure is there, and the prices started dropping. So yeah, I think these two are the major reasons as far as crypto itself is concerned. But there are other reasons as well, but that has to do more with everything like equity, commodity, and everything, because of like okay, there is a fear of inflation, fear of recession, then fear of war between a few countries. So all of that actually will usually have much more macroeconomic impacts. But I think yeah, sell off and this kind of carry trade. We actually call this concept of getting money from the government at a cheaper interest rate and using it for doing any kind of investments and earning profit. So it's called carry trade. So yeah, this two I think is what contributed instantly on Monday, where the prices dropped as much as 15-20% depending upon different cryptos.
Yes. Satvik, another thing, when such drops happen, and there are a lot of people who are saying that, the bull runs ended. So, do you think that bull run has ended?
I definitely don't think so. And actually, if you see the graphs in the past, before the bull run, there was actually a significant dip.
Oh,
So we will have to see. But again, reasons are all different.
yes.
Okay, so the whales, whoever have deep pockets, they actually wait for these kinds of crashes to collect some crypto with significant quantities, so that they can hold. While they are holding it, yeah, that is when the price actually goes up. No matter what the normal retail trader does, it actually has a very small effect. But when, as comparatively, the ones who can move the market with deep pockets, yes, so it much more matters there, I think.
Yeah, it kind of gives me a hint that we might be looking at Michael Saylor buying another bunch of bitcoins very soon.
Yeah,
So
I think he even in his remote thoughts, he don't have the idea of selling them.
yeah,
So I think so as well, right? So he actually like raises some investment by Bitcoin, raises some investment by Bitcoin. So that is what he has been trying to do. Uh, I mean, see, at the end, you have companies which are using some part of profits to buy Bitcoin, and there are company who where they just want to diversify a part of the portfolio in their balance sheet towards Bitcoin, and some are dedicatedly buying uh, Bitcoin by using investors' money, right? So and like MicroStrategy is one of them. So they keep raising money, issuing equity, and then buy crypto. So if Bitcoin price drops by 20%, like 10%, whatever, on a single day, then you see exactly similar price drop in the MicroStrategy share price as well, because most of the assets that it has is crypto, and
yeah.
just doing it. So that's what we have seen. Uh, sure, yeah. We will continue to have more and more of these kinds of companies who will have some kind of impact, I guess. But this price drop, I would say, I would not say it's really good. I wish it was not that deep, even though if there are some corrections and things. So when this kind of correction is extremely deep, like what happened on Monday, just imagine the people who ever bought crypto last week, right? So they may actually end up losing the confidence because, oh, okay, till now nothing has happened. The moment I touched it, it's going bad. So that kind of steep movements can hurt sentiments, but again, it is not common. It's very rare, very very rare event. If you see even the Apple stocks to Microsoft stocks, anything you can think of, like, everything had fallen by 8%, 10%, 1%.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, so if you remove that 12%, saying that that is like what the entire globe went through, then the Bitcoin price only dropped by 3%.
Yeah, and even I would say that there are people who are like, we're gonna buy after the bull run or when there's a dip, things like that. So they got an opportunity to buy whatever they can before the actual whatever price increase might happen. So
If you see the number of the percentage of people who continue to think that they want to buy and who actually buy,
is very different.
yeah, not even like 5% of people who wanted to buy when the price drops will actually buy it when the price drops. The remaining 95 buys at the peak, because they see, I don't know why people always think they are like extremely smart. They'll be able to go big, you know, do better than the market themselves, and that comes with extremely limited knowledge. So that's not the way the market works. No matter what, it's like you need to have a lot of invested hours to even think like, okay, I may be good enough to take a decision and try to see if that is true, kind of thing, right? So there are some people who would have placed buy orders at a lower price. Let's say when the price of it was at 60, some people might have placed it at 50, right? So for them, because they didn't check it or do anything, they got executed and they got lucky, on one side. But the ones who think that, okay, when the price drops, I will bring in money, I'll figure out where to get it from, or I'll withdraw it from the bank, or some equity trading or whatever, diversified portfolio, and try doing it. That's actually, I don't see that really happening. They will. The first fear is when the price is dropping, to what extent price drops. Okay.
Mhm.
So because we are talking about Monday, but if Monday was not there, just talk about Sunday. Just talk about Saturday. The price had to drop. Was already dropping significantly, very 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 fast anyway, right? So, and if Monday there was a 15% drop, and what will tell you that there is no new drop again for another 10-15% on Tuesday? So people always get into that spiral of, okay, maybe let me see if till what the price drops. After the price starts coming up, they will buy. Okay, when the price comes back, when it comes back up, they think that, okay, let me look into this when the price drops again. So people are usually bothered about the 10% difference in the buying price of what they want to buy, and and when they want to buy. But crypto market is not about it. I mean, in equity commodity, it all like fine. You do it even for 3%. It's fantastic. But when it comes to crypto, people need to understand they're actually taking a humongous amount of risk. Okay, and with that kind of risk, the reward ratio should be significant. Okay, so if you are putting 100 rupees for equity and exit with 105, fantastic. It was comparatively lesser. Or put the money into the fixed deposit 100 rupees, and by the end of the year you got 198. Fantastic, right? So those are all like comparatively lower risk. But if you're putting 100 into crypto, and if you are exiting at 110, that is super stupidity. It's definitely not reflecting the risks. You should at least be aiming for maybe 130, 140 or something like that. Minimum, right? So unless you are like a daily trader or very short term trader. And for those people, they actually don't bother about the price, because whatever is the buying price today will actually, they will have a selling price tomorrow. So, and they just rotate it very fast. So if you are not that kind of frequent buyer or trader, then you should not be super stressed about the small difference in prices. A lot of times, their own intuition kind of plays a bad role here, right? So let's say when the price was at 55 lakhs, okay, back of your mind, you keeps on feeling like, okay, it actually may drop below 50 lakhs someday, and you will not buy, but the price actually drops. Then you feel that, okay, see, I am able to get that kind of vibes, and maybe I should just trust that kind of vibes. If I'd invested now, I would have been at 10% loss. And for the people who have actually invested, they get depressed that, okay, the price of crypto or Bitcoin has actually like gone down, right? uh, no matter, in both cases, people are not trying to buy crypto and take that particular bet, right? So it's kind of that. And when the price starts going up, they will again have a little. Um, so it's a never-ending loop. I can just tell that. And if people are bothered about difference of 10% in pricing, then look into crypto. It's the risk reward ratio is not good for you, unless you are aiming for something like 1.5x or 2x over a period of 1 year, 2 year, or 4 years. One should not get into crypto, is what I think.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And quick note for the audience, guys, whatever questions you have, the comment sections are open. Shoot them in the comment sections from wherever you're watching. You know, the purpose of these AMAs is to interact with you guys, to solve your queries. So, let's make it more fun. Drop some questions here. And Satvik, in the meantime, one quick question, which I was trying to comprehend myself. And like you rightly mentioned, we think of Bitcoin and crypto as something that is hedge against all of these market things that are happening outside this world. But again, when this stock thing happened, it did impact the market, the Bitcoin's price. Of course, there were other contributing factors as well, but what has been highlighted as a major factor is this interest rate change and the drop in the stock market. This is the main reason that is being stated. So, how are these interlinked or interconnected on a global level?
in in short term, like whatever reactions, this kind of big reactions, they are actually connected. We actually see the similar pattern happening instantly in the crypto market as well. But if whatever has happened will sustain over a period of few months or few quarters, then we actually see the effect of crypto, right? So now the equity also to some extent coped up already, right? So but crypto actually coped up a lot. I think it came, it's up by about what I think whatever was the bottom, which I think was at $49,000 or something. Now, as we speak, we are talking about $57,000. So that essentially is trying to show about like 17-18% increase, right? So I don't think the crypto did. I mean, the normal equity increase happened in I mean, to such an extent. So extremely short-term reactions are connected. That's what we have seen in the recent past as well, because it is usually the same investors now. It's no more like, okay, this is a separate set of investors and we call them as crypto investors, and this is a separate set and we call them as equity. It's not like that anymore. So there is definitely like significant overlap, and if one market is behaving in a particular way, then it has effect on the other markets as well. uh, and But however, yes, when it comes to inflation and hedging and all such, definitely crypto should be able to help in theory, and it will, because that's what the data we have so far, the graphs we have so far have shown that. So, but it's again not instant. Over a period of maybe a few weeks or a few months, you will actually see that definitely playing out. So let's say the equity markets dropped by 10-12%, and if it stayed there and maybe it had continued to drop, we could have actually there's a very good chance that the crypto market will actually start to boom, right? So knee-jerk reactions will pull everything together down, but over a period of time, reactions will usually where that is where you can actually see the how crypto is different from rest of the other asset classes.
Yes, I think that is what we are all looking for. And the beauty of Bitcoin is the limited supply and all of these key factors. But coming back to the main discussion without, digressing. So, Satvik, another thing for investors who are at a very prime level, at a beginner level, how do they protect their investments when such a shock happens in the market?
That also depends upon what was your entry point, I think. If your entry point was comparatively lower, let's say whatever was the low, and if your entry point was 10, 20, 30% lower than that, I think you should not have any kind of knee-jerk reactions at all. That also does not mean you will try to leverage the positions and again take a margin trading opportunity. It's equally bad as well. I think so. These kind of reactions ought to be expected, and that's exactly why you have a bigger reward ratio here. If these was not there, then it would have been like a godlike asset class, where you have 20x, that I mean, like 20%, 30% a year, or 40% a year gain on one side, and still there is no risk at all. We don't have that kind of asset class. The risk reward ratio is actually it's there is higher risk, there's higher reward. It's as simple as that. So yes, we have to understand there is a risk, and that the fact that there is a risk gets proven again and again and again and again, like whatever happened now, right? So as long as that is not ignored, I think for people who are into crypto since more than a few years actually have seen this kind of things, ups and downs. And this time, at least, we found some two or three or four reasons why this probably is happening on Monday. But such kind of 10% drops are not very, very unusual. It has at least happened once or twice a year in the last 3 4 years. And on those days, sometimes we don't even know the reason, right? So it's comparatively shallow market. So that's the issue. It's not like gold or anything like equity and such, where the market is so deep that the price sustenance is there. It doesn't exist for crypto yet. Probably for that kind of sustainability of the price, the market cap has to go up maybe by 10 more times of what we have now. Where even the deep pockets is not enough. Just because I have deep pockets, I cannot change the price of gold so easily, right? Because gold itself is probably like 10 times that of, or some 8 times that of crypto today, right? So when we see that kind of much more um, uh, I mean, much more deeper order book of where there is like buying and selling depths are there, that actually brings the sustainability, I think. And it will probably make it not so volatile. And when it actually becomes not so volatile, we also lose the ability to make unproportionate gains also, right? So once something is a little bit more stable than what it is, then which it doesn't only mean the price will not drop instantly. It also means the price will not increase significantly in short time. So both goes together. So due to which it's kind of goes more closer to the other stable asset classes, and maybe we will have some other new asset class which is much more risky. Uh, to see that, I guess.
Very interestingly, Satvik, there's one more reason that is being stated as a probable cause to this, particular price drop in Bitcoin, is the fear revolving around U.S. recession. What do you think about that?
I think that is also one of the reason, but that alone is not just like affecting the crypto. It's affecting a lot of other markets as well. There are laws that predict if the market is entering the recession. It's about say you have unemployment on one side, how it should improve or increase for it to make any sense. And we have the markets movement as well, and then we have interest rates again by set by the central banks of respective countries, etc. And there are some rules that we have established. One of them is called the Saham rule. Like I think I don't know how to pronounce it. SHM Saham rule. So those if you apply those rules and put the data and numbers in place, we actually see the time we are in. We were already supposed to be in recession, I think. So, but still, markets hasn't really been that very bad, and it's kind of pushing through. Is how I would see this as. The chances that it will actually enter into recession continues to be high, but in recession, Bitcoin and crypto is supposed to do better as well. So this one, I would forget this and forgive this because it was more like a knee-jerk reaction, whatever happened on Monday. But over a period of time, I think when it actually comes to recession, definitely the crypto will have a upper hand. And in fact, the idea of crypto itself or Bitcoin itself came out in the time of recession.
Yes.
It was in 2009, and when banks were getting bailed out, left, right, and center. It's like very very sad situation where the money was whatever was supposed to be there is not there. Banks are getting helped by the central banks to bail out, but a lot of people still do not understand that money that is used to bail out is still people's money. um, yes, this is how I would see this as, I guess. It's affecting globally. It's not like US recession alone, but over a period of time, there is a good chance with lot of 2008, 2009, the innovations comparatively were less, I would say. But now the disruptive technology of so many of them, which kind of competing and trying to pull the economy back out of recession, but on the other side, the inflation, given the way the money is getting introduced into the system and such, and the increasing interest rates and all of that is again kind of pointing that there is a possibility of recession. So there are like tickers that tells what is the percentage, and there are so many markets where the predictions happen: are we entering the recession or not? And luckily, at least for inflation, we have some kind of formula saying that okay, if you put these numbers there, then whatever percentage comes up is the percentage of inflation. For India, I think it's at 5.1% last year or something like that. But for recession, no such formula. So even if you are in recession, people will be feeling the heat, but most of the people will be feeling like, okay, it's just me who is feeling the heat. It's not like the world is feeling the heat. They will not see that. It's actually much more macro in nature, I think. So that makes them think maybe they are not doing right. Maybe they did not get the salary increment, they are not getting paid well, or they'll start thinking their spending pattern has changed because of which the recession is being felt. I mean, the inflation is being felt, etc. And sometimes they lose the job as well, and they will not know the statistics of what is the percentage of people losing the job. They just think that they are doing some kind of mistakes due to which they are not able to get the job, or they lost the job that they are at. etc., and they have to use their one bigger part of their savings sometimes as well. So we don't have the exact way saying that okay, today the decision started. And it is not like okay, if a particular percentage is 8%, then it is decision. If it is like 6, it is not decision. So we don't have those kinds of numbers. It's much more to be felt. It's more like a conceptual thing. At if it happens, we will know because the things are going wrong really, really abruptly, really bad. I think so. The chances continues to be there, and the chances is actually slowly getting higher and higher and higher. At least since like 3 4 quarters is how this looks like. How the data engineers have put these things together to analyze this what it looks like. Um, so hope it won't happen. But there are also some kind of studies which says the recession is supposed to happen 14 years after the last one. So which means we are actually at the same time. So that's another sad thing as well. So it has to be waited and watched if it gets there.
Yeah, and I am going to come back to this because I have a few other questions to ask with regards to recession and Bitcoin and things. But we have a couple of questions over here in the comment section. One is by Mr. Ns Kanwil. He's asking, what about leverage? So, futures trade, I believe, is what he means.
Yeah, see, when the price drops, you always think, okay, if I had done a short trade yesterday, I would have made money. Or if the price increases the other way around, where if we had put a long trade yesterday and then today I would have made money, right? So, and taking the margin of 5x, 10x is actually definitely very risky. Um, Generally, itself, the crypto is a risky asset. Okay, you don't need to extrapolate that risk to become rich extremely fast. It the extent to which it could work, it is the same extent to which it will not work also. You need not be so stressed about using maximum leverage of multiple 10x, multiple tens of x to take any kind of positions, I guess. If you are new and if you are extremely risk taking, maybe go for something like 2x, but I would still not even recommend doing that. Just do whatever you want to do on normal spot trading, and that is already risky because of the risky asset class by itself. And that generally is enough of risk taking for any kind of investment diversification and portfolio. You don't need to go to such a leverage. If you're doing it for equity commodity, I understand. The same concept again exists in crypto. I'm not saying no. A lot of people try doing it, but it's like a risk. Sometimes you cannot bear, and you get liquidated, and you will just lose interest in it, lose a lot of money. So one should be not so inclined towards doing the margin trading on crypto, I think. As a platform, there are so many platforms which gives. Probably we will also start giving it to our users through Unocoin, maybe for 2x or something like that. But you should not be stressed about doing that. You should not force yourself to doing it. You just take the normal long positions, and wherever you think it's the right time, wait for it.
Yes, I mean, leverage trading is something that requires a lot of patience and a lot of, analysis, studying of things. So, I mean, as long as you're doing that, and obviously, I mean, with every trader, I believe that spot is a more preferred way of trading as compared to futures. That is 100% there, and there are good reasons for that. Another question that we have is from Mr. Archit Sinha. He's asking, hey Sathvik, how much personal toll it takes on you to run a crypto exchange in such times?
If you're talking about the bearish and bullish times, it does not matter too much for us, because we make our money when people trade, right? So that is just fine. And when the market significantly moves up or down, we usually get a little bit higher revenues itself, because a lot of waiting, where people have placed positions, orders, like okay, I want to buy it when it is 10% lower, I want to sell it when it's 10% lower, so when it's 10% higher, so those things will get executed. and we actually may get a little bit of extra revenue itself. So there is no extra stress. We just need to make sure that the platform is capable of handling even if it's like 5x, 10x more volume on a single day. So as far as that is quite figured out, which nowadays most of the exchanges do that. But sometimes the 5x or 10x volume itself is insufficient. It will go to 50 or something like that, and it will crash any kind of exchange server. This time, the Monday we saw a lot of equity indices and their servers crashed because of the way buying and selling was happening. So no one will prepare to such an extent. At the end, it's all comes down to cost, right? So I cannot prepare the entire infra to support 100x because it takes money, right? So it doesn't come at free, and you cannot keep and such. So sometimes they'll shut down, and sometimes they call it as okay, they will taking a 15-minute break or something like that. And those are all the mechanisms to just give some kind of time for people to rethink whether they want to sell, they want to buy whatever they want to buy. Uh, and so I guess, but apart from that, and this is, I mean, if we are calling this a bull market, this is our fourth bull market, I guess, for Unocoin. So we are less immune to price volatility. But on the other side, we have, I mean, our passion is more towards bringing some kind of financial freedom for our users. It's just not making money as a company, right? So it's about that.
Yeah, I mean, that has been the goal of Uno Coin, Crypto ka super app, bringing Bitcoin to millions and billions of people. So, yeah, that matters most. And again, I think Satvik, with you, because you have been in this industry the longest any other person has been, and you are pretty much, you have seen most of the things. And I think you already know that, you like chilled out at that time that, I've already seen this. So, mostly, I guess that is the state like. Okay.
Whenever you say this, I actually feel I have grown too old.
Well, I think if you jumped into the space, much before, and you were one of the people who, along with Sunny and everyone, who started the platform and things like that, you are one of the OGs to be considered, not in an old sense, but yeah, in the other sense. So there's
Mhm.
another question here by Mr. Kumar Prashant, who's asking, is it a call for buy?
See, if you are a at least medium term investor where you are looking at um, 1 year, 6 months, at least minimum 6 months to 1 year or 2 years kind of exit opportunity, I think it is fine. So it's definitely not bad. But if you are more looking at uh, can I buy now and does it mean in another 15 days I'll be able to sell at a profit? Not sure because um, the the decoupling of crypto market with the rest of the macroeconomics or rest of the asset classes, I don't think it has completely happened. So that means if tomorrow there is another 5% or 10% drop in equity market because of something else, then there is a very good good chance that crypto will still have to undergo another pain of losing some more money for the entire crypto market cap. So for a medium to long term, I think it's not bad. In fact, if you ask me when was it bad for medium to long term, actually I would say it was never bad. So that actually means know your entry point, believe in the tech. You are just helping the tech to grow as well. It's not just like you making money because of the money that is getting into the industry, like whoever are the investors into crypto and such. All of that actually fuels various innovation and such as well. And if you are just doing it on some kind of rare altcoin or memes or some stupid things, then you are fueling a scam. You are not
Yes.
fueling innovation. So just don't get behind someone who just promises moon in almost no time. There is no such thing. And it just means even if one is doing it, there is at least 10 other people who are not doing or not getting it, and the more likelihood that you being the one of the 10 people is extremely high than you being that one person who actually made money. So which essentially means don't get behind uh, such things. Else, if you are buying good things like Bitcoin, Ether, I think it's a good price.
Yes, so Kumar Prashant, I think you got your answer, and always look for things that make sense, in your head at least, if not in somebody else's head. That is very, very important before investing. So keep that in mind. Next, again, we have Mr. Enes Kanwal who's saying, "What are the chances big whales will control the market and not the retail investors? Any chances India buying crypto?"
I think big whales controlling the market. I don't think we are out of that yet. It has only the power that the big whales have actually have reduced. Given that there are big whales who definitely don't want to sell crypto at all, like MicroStrategy or something like that, right? So and Tesla. So there is like, yes, they are whales that like buy huge things and they can move the market, but that is not their intention, I guess. The control that the big whales have continued to reduce as compared to what it was like 3 years ago or 6 years ago, I guess. But still, definitely not out of it. Where okay, irrespective of what the big whales do, the crypto will not suffer or will not get controlled when it comes to crypto market price and such. I guess. So, like I said, maybe if we end up with another 5 times of the market cap that we have, or 8 times the market cap that we have, I could be more willing to say it's comparatively out of Wales. See, at the end, someone who have like a $10 billion will not just dump all of that into crypto. When we need really, really huge people to actually change or influence the prices when market cap of crypto itself is some 12 or $15 trillion, right? So you need really, really big people. And for them, crypto probably they may not even like because of the risk profile that they have. Because their bigger worry is to make sure that their money is safeguarded. Whatever they want is on, and whatever they have is they have. The money should be safeguarded and such, I guess. So it's kind of little bit more become, I mean, much more immune as we move towards maybe 10 or 15 trillion market cap, I guess. But today the influence is there, and on the other side, blockchain is public in nature. That's another another tricky part. So let's say if one of the really big investors like Warren Buffett, if he is selling Apple shares, unless some publication talks about it or he himself declares it and such, we may not even know, right? But when it comes to blockchain, there's so many people who are monitoring hundreds of thousands of addresses using various simple tools. You just need a computer that could cost maybe what some uh, some $300 $400, 40,000 rupees, to where you can run a program to monitor hundreds of thousands of addresses to know if there is any kind of movement in the funds. And lot of the Ethereum addresses or Bitcoin addresses are publicly associated in nature. So you exactly know this is MicroStrategy funds address, this is Tesla address, and this is belonging to Coinbase. Where like if someone sends some crypto there, it means someone is trying to sell it. So like that, lot of information is publicly available, and whenever any kind of movement happens, like it's instantly known to people. It's like so open in nature. So this is also one of the reasons why the influence from these kinds of big whales happens much more sooner as compared to the news slowly spreading around, right? So it's not like that anymore, I guess. And yeah, eventually I will want to see the market comparatively not in the control of whales, and also obviously not in the control of retail investors. It should supposed to be a much more free and fair market,
Yes, and I think, like you mentioned, that is going to happen once the market share that is in control of people, retail investors is more, which is eventually happening with ETFs now coming in, and more retail people getting interested in Bitcoin assets. So that is happening, and there's a bigger picture. Crypto Monka here is saying when Lembo sir when with this sudden war effect hodlers.
See, it's not about Lambo, and definitely not good for Indian roads anyway. So, but yeah, sometimes the crypto can open up new dreams. If you have been very thoughtful, doing a lot of research, doing some investments, and or not taking extremely excessive risk than what is required over a period of time, that can bring you some wealth. Sometimes generational wealth that could settle maybe the next generation itself, kind of thing, which probably is like few millions of dollars, or maybe 8 or 10 or 20 crores or something like that, right? So that kind of money, I mean, there are people who have made that, but I actually still don't think that they'll go and buy Lambo. But this is a far dream. Okay, just have like a red Lambo, and I just want to roam around after I become. And now it has become such a normal thing to ask. Where if you say yes, I am now starting crypto trading, or if you just say last year I got into crypto, then the question is, how come you still don't have Lambo? That kind of thing. No, it
Yeah.
doesn't work that way.
Besides,
Yeah, the ups and downs are equal. The on an average, yes, the prices have gone up, but it is not like it's gone up by 100x a
true.
year. No, it's not the way.
Also, I think anybody. I mean, this is my personal opinion again. Anybody selling the bitcoins to buy a Lamborghini would be again stupid. It's a depreciating asset, so economically, even that won't make sense.
I will not agree with that. It depends upon how many Bitcoin he
True.
has. So, see, if he has, let's say, 1,000 Bitcoin, and today Lambo costs what? Maybe 5 Bitcoin, I guess. See, I mean, you also have a life to live. It is just not about seeing your number on the screen and unfortunately wait for a day to get it hacked or something like that. So, a diversification of portfolio is definitely required, um, and yeah, I mean, even there is an opportunity for you to exit because you made really good money. Take some part of that exit, or take it to your real life. Maybe get into a good home, or have a good car, better the education of your children. All of that is there. So that may not be possible for everyone, because it again depends upon how much you're investing. So a lot of people who actually started with SAP on our platform, right? So for a lot of them, yes, it has actually, I mean, has made some significant impact in their lives. Could be their travel goals, or could be the education for children, or marriage for their kids, of their children, etc. And some of them, maybe they just want to start a new business, a new investments, and sometimes a retirement fund. So, but that is not happening in very small amount of time. It probably will need your dedicated efforts for about 3 years, 5 years, or anything like that. And okay, someone who is have maybe 100 Bitcoin may just look for, okay, I'll sell off five and get a Lambo. But the one who have point one, if the price is good, they may still think that, okay, let me sell off 0.02 or something like that, and still get maybe a two-wheeler. So don't wait for prices to go to moon forever. You will. I mean, time is a one-way street, and whatever you think now that you should have done, and if you don't do it, and if it, again the crypto enters comparatively a bearish market, and it may take years to come back. Sometimes we have seen it. So whatever you think is essential, definitely you should take care of it first. And whatever is your want. I mean, why are you doing crypto? It is because, okay, you have little bit extra greed for normal money, little bit extra greed for money, for most of them, unless you are an innovator, or doing some kind of coding or doing some projects or anything like that. So yes, I mean, when that manifests, you can monetize it, just monetize it, uh, and be happy, I guess. But I totally agree that if all you have is 5 Bitcoin, you should not sell all five to buy a Lambo. Definitely no.
So I hope Crypto Monka you get your Lamborghini very soon, and you know you let us know as well that you got a Lamborghini, because good times are always ahead. Always look at a positive outlook for things. So
And Shambhavik into the game, we will.
yeah. So Satvik, now coming back to the recession part with regards to the fear that is going around, for US recession, and what kind of impact is it going to have on the Bitcoin market. Generally, like you mentioned very rightly, that Bitcoin is a recession child. It was born out of the problems of recession. I think that was the reason why Satoshi Nakamoto in the first place thought of something like that and started working on it. But even right now, with general public, they do not see Bitcoin or crypto as an asset that will safeguard them from inflation. I think this narrative, as much as this is true, people are not ready to believe it. So how to put this across?
No, whatever you're talking about is an extremely thought-provoking thing for a common man. I have had a great difficulty in explaining when government prints money, it's a part of inflation. Okay, that is like maybe, or if you say when a bank gets out or because they don't have money away in one or the other way, where it goes to the government or the income tax department, yeah, and just the ball rolling and such. So when people are not even capable of understanding it, if you really start talking about how the Bitcoin can help you with the inflation, or how it is a hedge against maybe if it is a war time where it's war time of a war, or how it is a safe haven to park your funds. So I think it's uh, way too much, I guess. But at the end, people like how they believe in gold. A lot of them blindly believe that uh, whatever the Bitcoin is or crypto is, it's something good and it works and it can hold the value, kind of thing. So I would say for a common man, just force yourself to believe that this is how it works. I guess. Else it does not make, I mean, you need, I mean, even if you are if you are a master student in economics and macroeconomics, getting this across to such an extent of getting the entire world picture and figuring out like which part moves when, and if the feds will increase the repo rate, or if India does something, or if Japan does something, or if there is a war between Iraq and Iran, or if the huge giant or like Warren Buffett is selling things. So I mean, there is so many moving parts. At the end, how do you even comprehend so much to say that okay, out of all of these, it just means it is not affecting crypto in the long term. Anyway, you have believed in crypto with 5% of your portfolio or whatever it is. But yeah, it will take much more time. I guess people should just understand how the money works and forget about how the crypto
Yes.
works. If the people start understanding how money works, then they will understand what was not supposed to happen, and that particular difference they will actually see in crypto. I guess so then they'll start analyzing or realizing what crypto is all about, I guess. So um, yeah, it's limited in supply. Some people get it good, I guess. And that is why like it's not undergoing significant inflation because of supply being extremely high all of a sudden, or someone taking a decision to increase supply. I think that alone people get it, but when any other bigger things, it's tough for people.
I think it's part of the process where where internet was also something very new, where, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Google, all of these things are very new, but we got a hang of it. Though we still don't know how it works, we are very much used to, we're dependent on it for our day to day lives. So I think, I'm not sure if that is going to be the same path, but yeah, as people say, it's following the same rate of adoption as internet. So hopefully, I think that will happen. And just to conclude this session, Satvik, my follow up question to this economic recession part, with this mindset being there, in general public at large, do you think that Bitcoin's ability to be a hedge against inflation is going to be affected? Because, there are two ways to look at it. One is to look at it as a hedge against inflation and saving our money's purchasing power. The second is looking at it as an investment or something that, people just kind of start pulling out when recession hits. So which one would you look at it like? How the general public is going to react? Just an anticipatory thought.
I think the crypto, especially the Bitcoin, has actually achieved a new asset class status, I guess. So, which means people are looking at it more like an investment. The number of people who are looking at it like, okay, it's a payment rails or something for trading and such actually have reduced. There may be other crypto which could eventually get used. It is like how, you will not use gold on day-to-day basis to trade. Something it's much more valuable, and it has attained a different status. I think something like that it has happened for Bitcoin also. So yes, so a lot of people will actually move towards. I mean, why the price of gold was so high? Like even about like a month ago, it was comparatively high. It is again just because the anticipation of war, including whatever is happening between Iraq and Iran, and the issues with Russia and all such, right? So and when that doesn't happen again, will it instantly show if will it reflect in the prices where the prices drop? It's not true as well. So for anything, it just moves comparatively slow. Whatever should have happened in a single day probably will take a week or month to happen in those kinds of very bulky markets. But when it comes to crypto, if something goes wrong, you will see the difference in minutes. It's like so global, so reactive in nature, and it is 24/7. It's another, I don't know, call it as good thing or bad thing, right? And it is so global. It's, I mean, anywhere to anywhere, it will have some kind of effect. So you can see that particular global thing in both lights, right? So one is, yes, if one country does something stupid wrong in one, when something goes wrong in one place, it actually is a hedge because there are other 200 plus countries where nothing went wrong. So which is just better as compared to, okay, you are in Russia, and some government decisions whatever was taken was against crypto, and instantly you feel the heat, right? So instead of that, having the risk spread across the entire world obviously is good. So tomorrow, if governments comes with extremely unfair regulations, I don't think crypto prices will significantly vary. But if you're talking about just India, and for, let's say, if there is a policy which is restricting the IT sector from booming, you would see the IT sector equity falls, the pricing falls by 10%, 20% in a matter of 1 2 days, right? So we don't see that kind of yeah, it's because it's not dependent on any country, any specific country, but there is some impact, yes. But as the crypto continue to go bigger and bigger, the ability to take that kind of impact and just digest it, to just cushion it, increases. So so my target is, okay, we probably if it hits 10 12 $15 trillion as the market cap, then it's like much more rigid in nature, and it can take a lot of hits and whatever differences that's happening, and people will actually much more start believing how if one cannot so easily change it with pickpockets or whales, whoever, they're not changing it, then it will react according to the complete macroeconomics itself, like how gold reacts. So we will actually start seeing it. right? So when there was chances of war, we definitely saw the price of gold increasing. We did not see the price of Bitcoin increasing because even if the price of Bitcoin increases by 10%, there are so many variations, so many things that could vary, which makes it look like okay, it increased by 10, but it increased by 5. You will not see, you will not feel it because of so many things changing. But when the market cap is something like 8x, 10x of what it is right now, then yes, you will definitely feel the change. It's not so easy to easy to change that kind of huge market cap assets, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit wait and watch itself. Uh, but recession, if it happens, it happens, and over a period of time. But recession is not something where it's not like it happened for 2 months and it's back. If it happens, it happens for maybe what, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So yeah, we will probably have a longer bull market at that time.
Yeah. So looking forward to a better bull market, but hopefully no recession in the coming days. Everybody, thank you so much for joining in today and listening to this session. Hope you learned a lot. Thank you so much, Sathvik, for your time and the insights we got during this session. We'll see you again next week, same day, same time. Till then, make sure to follow UnoCoin on all the social media channels so that you get a notification whenever we go live next. Okay. Take care. Bye bye. Stack stats. Stay humble and take care. Bye bye.